Okay, this is Module 2.4 Impact of Technology, Grade 12 Cat Theory. It's our last theory chapter. We're looking at the impact of technology on the global community. People connect on a global scale. You can email, send files, collaborate in Google Docs with people all over the world. You're no longer bound by being in the same room, city, country. Work, business, and competition can take place on a global scale. So companies can now have call centers in other countries. Products can be sold to an international audience. It expands who you can work for. You don't have to be in the same country as the company that you work for. And the fact that you're able to sell your products to people all over the world. The flow of information is difficult to control and restrict. China tries to control the internet in their country. They don't have Google. Often expats who live there have to employ this use of VPNs to try and get YouTube to work. It's quite difficult. Iran and Russia have tried to create their own internet to restrict citizens' access to information. It's very difficult. How do you can control people if you can control what they have access to? During revolutions, some countries try to turn off the internet in their country so people cannot post what is going on in the country. And we've seen that in the Middle East and in certain African countries when there have been revolutions, people are able to document what is happening there. Telecommuting is possible. What is telecommuting? Well, teleworkers or telecommuters are workers who don't have to be in one central venue to do their work. Most people are able to work from home while making use of cell phones, laptops, internet connections, and even video conferencing software. Companies that adopt this model often report that workers are more productive. Employees are communicating with each other during the workday. This is different from someone who's just working from home and they're able to do their job entirely by themselves. This is someone who they're not just working from home for the day, but the fact that they're constantly in communication with other employees, they're not bound by the same need to be in the same room, in the same country, but they are needing to communicate with each other as they're trying to get their work done. Sometimes they might be able to do certain things from home and then have to go meet in certain locations for group strategy sessions or different things like that. Computer fraud takes place, one of the biggest impacts of technology. Crime can take place across international borders. That means it is a lot more difficult to prosecute crimes. Things like child pornography has increased exponentially because people who are making this kind of material are not in the same country, and they'll have servers in countries that do not have good laws to protect their citizens. Many people suffer from information overload. When do we switch off? Employees are often expected to take calls and receive emails way beyond work hours. Information overload is what happens when people can't cope with the amount of information that they're exposed to every day. This could lead to physical and mental health issues. And our company is willing to allow employees to switch off when they're not required to be at work. Employees need to be ensuring that they protect their own physical and mental health. So how social networking contributes to the impact of ICT. Interest in ICT usually starts with communication and entertainment opportunities offered by ICT. It makes sense that it is the social and telecommunication aspect of ICT that has the greatest impact on society. Social networking services allow people to connect with each other and share different types of information with each other. How social networking contributes to the impact of ICT. Well, general characteristics of these social networking services will include they are free. Now, please note, free is very subjective. You are not paying money to use this service, but you are giving this company your personal information. You are allowing them to track who you interact with, what you do, what your preferences are, and they sell this information. They require people to register to be able to use these services, and they encourage people to get as many other people to join as possible. They can make money gathering information about their users and sell that information, or by target advertising to marketing companies. So, social media sites include Twitter. It's a microblogging site. The last while they've increased your messages up to 280 characters. It used to be 140 for a tweet. Allows messages to be sent to followers. Each message is called a tweet. You can follow a specific topic by searching for a hashtag, e.g. Soccer World Cup, Google Apps for Education, has become a powerful news service and is credited with a large role in social revolution in Egypt and in the Middle East. So, basic terminology. Follow is to subscribe to another user's updates. Updates will then appear in your homepage. At mention is when you reference another person in a tweet. So you go at and then the person's Twitter name, and that will tag them in the message. RT is to retweet. So you take somebody's tweet and you send it to everyone else that is in your followers. They can then see that person's tweet. Hashtag, so you can hashtag something. Links tweets to a specific topic. So if you're looking for a topic on aquapocalypse and you hashtag anything hashtagged with that hashtag, you can then search. DM is to direct message someone. You send it to a user's private inbox. Here, some people have a lot of followers. Facebook has over 2 billion users. Most people access Facebook from a mobile device. Celebrities are able to create fan pages for users to follow. Through Facebook, companies are able to gather information about you. Facebook bought Instagram in 2012. They've also bought WhatsApp. Marketplace is a popular way for people to buy second-hand goods from people in your neighborhood. What is Facebook Stories? Pretty much like your Instagram stories. The idea originated from Snapchat. The feature is also on Instagram and WhatsApp. Short user-generated photo or video collections that can be uploaded to the user's Facebook. Facebook Stories were created on 28th of March 2017. They're considered to be a second news feed for social media website. It's focused around Facebook's in-app camera, which allows users to use for fun. Facebook Live is a live video streaming. It's a fun, engaging way to connect with your followers, to grow your audience. People can send live reactions. During COVID lockdown, people use it to stream weddings, funerals, so people could watch. Virtual community. A virtual community is a group of people who gather online to share ideas and interests. Examples of virtual communities include WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, Pinterest groups. Forums are also types of communities people can go to discuss topics of shared interest. Examples of that are Quora and Reddit. What is crowdfunding? It's a practice of funding a project or venture by raising many small amounts of money from a large number of people, typically via the internet. Crowdfunding is a source of crowdsourcing. So you've got a business idea, you want to get started, and people can invest money. If we look at examples, Kickstarter tries to crowdsource funding for projects. People can browse through projects and make a pledge to contribute to a project. If we just have a look here, and you could look at somebody's project. So their goal is $60,000. So far, they've raised $54,965 through 256 people backing by giving a small amount of money. And they've got 5 more days that they have to reach their goal. They include a video that you can watch, and they'll explain what they're trying to do. Okay. Then if we look down here, so they'll say pledge without a reward. You can just give money. Or if you pledge $10 or more, they'll send out a social media thank you. If you pledge $15 or more, you'll get film credit thank you. They also give you the date, sort of when to expect this to happen. If you pledge $25 or more, you can watch the final film at home, so you can get a preview. Pledge $100 or more, you get a t-shirt from Portugal, but it'll only ship to the US. And then if you pledge $100 or more, you'll get this t-shirt that'll only ship. And if you pledge $500 or more, you get a meet and greet with the crew. And if you pledge $5,000 or more, you can join the founding band member of Portugal, and you'll hand draw guitars, whatever. Yeah, so that's just an idea of what a Kickstarter project would look like. Other crowdfunding sites in South Africa: BackaBuddy, Thunderfund, GoFundMe SA. Crowdfunding platform, a website that facilitates crowdfunding by allowing people or companies seeking money to raise it from members of the public. Platform lists different projects, collect and process the payments between those, the crowdfunders giving money and the crowdfundees receiving it. Startup is a new business, often using a highly scalable new technology or novel process, and often outside investment funding to grow quickly. Pinterest, it's a social networking site that acts like a virtual pinboard. You can share things that other people have created and that interest you. Pinboards are themes, so you can find one that interests you or you can create your own. Really, Pinterest in many ways is like a bookmarking site. You're saving these links that will, when clicked on, will take you to different websites. Please also make sure you know about TikTok, Instagram, all the other ones that are coming up. How technology can benefit or harm society. So employment. New entrepreneurial opportunities and jobs are created by the IT sector, but job losses and unemployment can occur because computerized automation and outsourcing to foreign countries where labor is cheaper or more skilled. So computers or computerized automation can take jobs away from people. Also, instead of having jobs in your country, companies could go to different countries where labor is a lot cheaper, particularly in Asia or Africa, and they could offer the employment there. So that could be a problem in people not being able to get jobs in the country where they are. ICT improves access to information and resources. Harm: the burden of higher education requirements if you want to enter the job market. A digital divide exists. This refers to the gap that exists between those families who cannot afford access to digital and online resources and those who can. So it can become difficult for those with less access to compete. So you're trying to compete maybe to get into tertiary education and eventually to get into a job. And if you are computer literate and highly computer literate, that would maybe give you an edge over someone who has not had the opportunity to learn how to use a computer. Culture and language. People are better able to record and communicate things that reflect their own culture, so their culture can be preserved. But a harm with technology is that as we are watching more and more YouTube channels with American culture, we find the dilution of cultures towards the standard Western-dominated world culture is occurring as people aspire to be what seems to be new, modern, and exciting. Individual connectedness. People are able to connect with others around the world. It's much easier to stay in touch with a large number of friends and acquaintances. But this connectedness is virtual, not real. People are more isolated and are feeling more and more alone.